Hello, everybody. How are you today? I hope you're doing just fine because, well, this is kind of a weird week. Strange. People's schedules get a little messed up because it's the week of Thanksgiving. And I know a lot of people are getting ready, preparing for that big turkey day, getting all the shopping in. Some people have their work schedules a little bit goofy this week. Maybe they're only working 2 or 3 days at most. There's Black Friday coming, and will we be able to do Black Friday? Yeah, maybe on our computers. I don't know if you want to go out into the stores. Too many people around. Gotta be safe. Gotta be safe. And so it's a little bit weird, but I don't want it to be too weird, which is why we're still going to have Testy Tuesday. Yep, Testy Tuesday. Want to give you a little quiz on the Bible? See how smart you are? But today, well, let's not do something on the Bible. Let's do something a little more generic. It's about our Christian life together. Oh, it's about the church year. Hey, yeah, let's do that. Because we have the beginning of our church year this coming Sunday, the beginning of Advent. Well, now here's the question. See, I wasn't even going to ask you what Advent means because I know you know all about that. Adventus, the Latin word, meaning coming or arrival, the coming of Jesus, the arrival of the baby in Bethlehem. Yeah, you knew all that stuff. No, what I want to ask you is, how do we know when Advent starts? I mean, every year it seems to be a different date, just like Easter. How do you know when there's Easter? Ah, man, we know when there's Easter. It's the first Sunday after the first full moon, after the first day of spring. Yeah, pretty simple. Oh, there is one exception to the rule. Well, it gets a little complicated, but other than that, first Sunday after the first full moon, after the first day of spring. That's Easter every year. But what about Advent? How do you know when Advent starts? I'm going to give you 4 possible answers. You tell me which is right. Are you ready? A, it's sometime in mid-November. B, it's the first Sunday after Thanksgiving. C, it's the Sunday that's closest to November 30th. And D, you count back 4 Sundays from the winter solstice. All right, let me go through all those answers again. A, it's sometime in mid-November. B, it's the first Sunday after Thanksgiving. C, it's the Sunday that's closest to November 30th. And D, you count back 4 Sundays from the winter solstice, and that begins Advent. So what do you think is the right answer? Come on, let's hear it. Did I hear somebody say sometime in mid-November? Yeah, you're right. Oh, well, you're only partly right. Because it's also the Sunday that's closest to November 30th. Wait a minute. How can it be mid-November and the Sunday that's closest on November 30th? That can be quite a difference in dates. Well, it's because in the Eastern Orthodox tradition, they celebrate it beginning mid-November. So they have a longer Advent season than we in the Western traditions. And we celebrate it beginning the Sunday closest to November 30th. So that means it could start in November sometimes, like it does this year, the 29th. Sometimes it can start in December. So it's kind of a movable kind of deal because Christmas itself is movable in the sense that it moves on a different weekly day, but it's always December the 25th. All right, so we have that all settled. Phew. Hey, how about I throw another question out for you? In liturgical movements, the churches that have altar paraments that are different colors for the different seasons of the church year, what color is Advent? Did I hear somebody say purple? You're absolutely right. Ding, 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 ding. But if you said blue, you're absolutely right. Ding, 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 ding. See, it could be either one. For the longest time, it was purple for both Lent and for Advent because they're both seasons of the year in which we emphasize being more penitential and trying to draw closer to God and to meditate on, in Advent, the incarnation, and in Lent, Jesus coming sacrifice on the cross. Okay? But to differentiate between the two, in later years, and actually more recent times, a lot of churches use that deep blue color for Advent, also symbolizing hope. Our hope is in this coming one, in the Christ child. Okay? Yeah, you're good. You know all that stuff. Now, the church year calendar is kind of a strange little deal as well, because the earliest Christians, you know how they celebrated? Well, you got up and, yep, you went to the synagogue or you went to the temple on the Sabbath, didn't do any work. You didn't cook any meals because you had it all prepared the day before. You still ate, and that's what you did. And then come the day after the Sabbath, which is Sunday, you got together with some of your other friends who believed that Jesus was the Messiah, is the Messiah, and you had a common meal together. You said some prayers, maybe even sang a hymn, and you broke bread and drank wine. All right? That basically was your calendar. You still considered yourself a Jew. You were a Jew who believed that Jesus is the Messiah. Okay? Now, as Christianity evolved, meaning those who believed in Jesus got kicked out of the synagogues because they weren't orthodox enough in that faith. They were told to go worship elsewhere, and they did. They worshiped in homes, they worshiped in the catacombs, and then they started building churches, this, that, and the other. But along with that came more celebrations. Easter became a thing, and that date for Easter kind of moved around for a while, but as I said, it ended up being first Sunday after the first full moon at the first day of spring. And then you added on your Holy Week celebrations, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3 of the holiest days of the year, with the Resurrection Day Sunday being wow, we made it, Okay, you had that coming. Then you added Pentecost, the coming of the Spirit, and everything else pretty much by the 5th, 6th century had been set. Our church year calendar, although some of the other celebrations got placed in there later on through the years, all the way, we had Christ the King. We talked about that. 1925 is when that came about. So it's not like, it was all set in stone right from the beginning. No, it has evolved as our faith and our worship together has evolved. And Advent itself is a beautiful time of year when we can write out our Christmas cards and go Christmas caroling and bake cookies. No, yeah, we do that stuff, but that wasn't the early emphasis. The early emphasis was looking into the scriptures, looking into this one called the Christ, who would be the Messiah in the line of David, called Emmanuel, God with us, incarnation. A big word, how God was born into our humanity. All right, that's the emphasis. And the emphasis for the season is not only Jesus coming as a baby, but Jesus promised that he would come again, but also God with us in this person of Jesus right now. God with us, Emmanuel. So just remember all that. Especially remember how we recall and think about when Advent starts. It's always the Sunday that's closest to November 30th. That will be your first Sunday of Advent. And again, this year, it's November 29th. Just happens to be the Sunday after Thanksgiving, but it isn't always that way. God's blessings be with you. Have a great day, and remember, it's always safer to thaw out the turkey in your refrigerator. Get it in there right now. Blessings be with you.